So Bob's your uncle, we're done. You've got half an hour, that's already an hour, and then you just start to then fit that around other parts of your day. So the first tip is fitting it around your lifestyle every day. That will help you make sure that you get that passive input in every single day. In today's video, we're going to just extend upon the last video, which was talking about briefly about passive input and active input. And also about like, should you go to the country and all that stuff. So this is kind of a part 2 to that, where I just want to answer one simple question in this one. So if you haven't though, by the way, make sure to go and watch that video right now to make sure that you are completely knowledgeable on everything that we talked about there, so that this video makes perfect sense to you. So make sure to do that. I'll just pause for a second. Cool. Let's continue. So the amount of passive input you need to get based on the last video, of course you need to get passive input, you need to get active input. Focus for now on passive input, and then go into active input as you progress through that. But again, just watch the video to get clarification on that. But the hours I want you to spend for passive, the simple answer is a minimum of 2 hours per day. If you can, I always suggest to everyone that I work with, I always say at least 2 hours per day. It doesn't have to be every day of the week, but just getting those 2 hours in minimum, but somewhere between 2 and 6 hours. Okay, hold on. Don't be scared when I say that. 2 to 6 hours. Just to clarify, just to be very clear, I definitely don't mean, sitting there, writing things down and studying, okay? Again, make sure to watch the previous video so we understand that it's not like we're learning grammar. Of course, you guys that are new might be like, what? But just watch the other videos that I've got on this channel to make sure. We're talking about acquisition here. We're talking about input. We're talking about passive input, where you are doing other things casually as you are getting in the input. So it's very easy to get passive input. And basically, okay, and this is how and why we can get so many hours in per day, and why I suggest to you getting in as many hours as you really can, like in conjunction or combining or throughout your whole day, like in combination with all the other things you're doing. So kind of weaving it in, fitting it into your daily life. That is really the most important thing. So the 2 main tips are fitting it into your lifestyle, into your life. For example, when you wake up, when you're getting your coffee, if you drink coffee. I don't drink coffee for some reason. I'm like the 1% of the world that doesn't, but most people, I'm sure you guys, most of you are going to drink coffee. So as you're drinking coffee or you're making your coffee, you're listening. So that's 10, 20, 30 minutes you've already got in just listening as you're preparing your coffee, as you sit down to prepare something, whatever you're doing, just fit it into your morning routine, fit it into your nighttime routine. So we'll say half an hour in the morning, half an hour at nighttime. Guys, dudes, you've literally got 1 hour of passive input already without even thinking about it. Just building it into your habits. That's actually another huge tip there. Start formulating habits around English, of course. We'll talk about that in another video. I'm sure I will make a video about that. Absolutely. But yeah, that's an hour already. Just, getting half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night. Bob's your uncle. Maybe that's an idiom right there. Bob's your uncle is like easy peasy, done, right? So Bob's your uncle, we're done. You've got half an hour, that's already an hour, and then you just start to then fit that around other parts of your day. So the first tip is fitting it around your lifestyle every day. That will help you make sure that you get that passive input in every single day. And then also choose like what days of the week and try to stick to it. And that leads me to the second tip, which is be consistent, okay? So important, guys. Be consistent. If you're going to do this, choose the hours that you're going to choose, but be consistent. Fit it into your lifestyle, into your routine, but also make sure that you are consistent every single day. Whatever days you choose, whatever times, whatever parts of the day you fit it into your life, make sure that it's consistent, okay? So they're the 2 tips. And in terms of the numbers, again, minimum 2 hours per day. 5, 6, 7 days a week. That's all on you guys. You can choose what days you want to do and what times of the day. That's completely up to you. We can talk about that. You can message, you can DM if you need to. But, figure out yeah, what times of the day, and then go with that. So 2 hours is minimum. There's no maximum to this. Obviously, I wouldn't say go 10, 12, 15 hours. I mean, you can if you want to. That's absolutely fine, I guess. But I don't think that's necessary. And I also don't think that that will be very consistent for you. You won't probably stick with that too well. So I probably wouldn't recommend any more than, 6 hours a day is lovely. If you can get 2 to 6 hours, so up to 6 hours maximum, I would say, just as a guideline. 2 to 6 hours is what I always tell people, my students. But 2 to 6 hours, somewhere around 3, 4, 5 hours is perfect of passive input. And believe me, guys, it is very, very easy to actually fit that into your daily life. Okay, we have 24 hours per day. Of course, we sleep 8 of those. So you do the numbers. That is for 8 hours, that's 16 hours. Took me a second with the maths then, embarrassing. But we have 16 hours per day of, if we even get 8 hours sleep, so we might even get less than 8 hours sleep. But in a day, we have around sort of 16 hours, and you're getting in 3 or 4 hours. It's really not that hard. I hope you can see this now, that it's really not that difficult to get passive in. And just to recap, or just to clarify, I mean, it's not going to be the active. So the active, which we will talk about again in another video as we progress through. So make sure to subscribe if you want to know more about active and passive and all the other things. It's not active input, so don't worry. We're not going to be just like spending hours, just like, so I got to spend 4 hours just like, what the hell, like just writing words down and memorizing things. And by the way, we don't memorize on this channel, and I don't ever teach or coach my students or audience or you guys to actually memorize. So that's just a little hint there. So do not worry about memorization. And, oh, Dale, I have to like memorize and all this stuff and it's going to be really hard work. No, we don't do that. Don't worry about active for now. We're going to talk about that very soon. In your next phase, when you get into the next phase. Right now, we're focused on passive input. Passive, though, you're just, like I said, guys, you're just getting in the input, you're listening, a lot of listening, a good amount of reading, but as predominantly, so mainly listening to podcasts, to TV. Listen to the other video that I made just prior to this one, and that will completely clarify what passive input is. But if you are new and you haven't watched it for some reason, don't worry, passive input is really, really quite simple to get in. So don't worry about, like, it's not active study, it's not memorization, it's no listing words, there's no like really difficult exercises that's going to fry your mind every day. It's going to be just getting it in very comfortably as you're doing the dishes, like cleaning the dishes, as you're cooking. That's another half an hour, 45 minutes. Before bed, in the morning, and it's actually great at bedtime because you're solidifying those new words in there. We can also review words before bed. That's another top secret thing going on. So I'll share that with you as well, guys. But reviewing new words is also very powerful last thing at night. But that's in the active stage, so don't worry about all of that just now. You're just getting in, listening and reading at your level, like I explained in the previous video. At your level, just getting it in, soaking it in, immersing yourself in the language, listening and reading, Googling things, translating, changing everything, and changing your settings, of course, into, and I'll make a video about this, changing your settings into the target language, so English. And that's already immersing yourself. You're getting passive input in. You're adding the hours, the minutes and the hours just by doing that alone. So if you do all those things, you can easily get 2 to 4 to 6 hours per day, depending on how many you decide. The long story short, the answer is somewhere between 2 and 6 hours per day, most of the week, but you can choose, guys, 5 days a week, 6 days, 7, whatever you can be consistent with. Then stick with that. So say 5 days a week, 3 hours of passive input, boom, you're done. And then just stay consistent with it. You cannot go wrong. Guys, the biggest secret is to failing with English is not because you're stupid. It's not because it wasn't meant to be. It's not because it's too difficult, especially English, which is not the hardest language in the world. The reason why most people will fail at learning English or any language, guess what? It's because they give up. Okay? And why did they give up? Because they had a bad mental attitude, they had a bad, they had bad habits around it, and they also made their lifestyle too difficult. They did try to do too much. Stay consistent with a smaller amount, but stay consistent with the passive input, and then eventually active input. But for now, the passive input, stay consistent, and you can't go wrong, guys. But don't give up. If you don't give up, there's no reason you cannot succeed. There's nothing stopping you from succeeding, guys, okay? I will also make motivational videos to help you. As a coach, as an English coach, I'm also here to motivate you, inspire you, keep you going so you don't give up. Because why? Giving up is the biggest reason why people fail at English and any language. And really, guys, in general, you know, giving up is literally the enemy of success, okay? So with that said, hopefully that has helped and clarified. Hopefully it's inspired you as well. You can do this now, guys. Just go to YouTube, go to, you know, blogs. Sorry, not blogs. Actually, yes, blogs, articles, but a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. Radio, TV, if you can get all that, get your hands on that. For a lot, most of it's going to be free, guys. So it's no problem to find that stuff. But hopefully that's clarified that question. Make sure to watch the previous video, combine these two together. Start doing that now. You know what to do, and you will see results very quickly. And then we'll get started, or we're going to continue into the next phase straight after that. But make sure to just get the passive input now, and yeah, you're in the right direction. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you have a great day. Any questions, just ask in the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you really soon. Take care.